Hello everyone, it's RelicMC here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to take little to no knockback in Minecraft PvP. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take no PvP in fist combat like how you would in Sumo, and also in games like Bed Wars and Skywars. So I made this list down to 5 main topics. Number 1 being W tapping or block hitting, resetting your sprint. Number 2, strafing. Number 3, having good aim. Number 4, CPS. And number 5, projectiles, depending on the game mode if they have them. In Sumo, number 5 would not be here because obviously you just have your fist and that's it. So I'm going to talk about W tapping. You guys might already know about this, but just for the people who don't, I'm going to explain it to them. Basically in Minecraft, when you hit someone without sprinting, you do about 1 block, 1.5 blocks. If you hit someone while sprinting, you do a lot more knockback. You do about 4 blocks per hits while you're sprinting. But if you hit someone while you're sprinting and then hit them again, they're only going to take 1 knockback per hit, just like how it normally would. So you have to reset your sprint every time you hit them, like this. And they take a lot more knockback. Like I said, just 2-tap them off. And the best way to time these W taps are to go off visuals and what you hear. So basically when you hear that hit sound, you're going to want to barely let go of W. Let me turn on my keystrokes real quick. Hold up. So basically right when you hear the tick sound, you're going to want to let go of W very fast like that. Like barely even realizing you're letting go of it, but you want to let go of it so you can reset your sprint. You could also hit S or block hit, which I'll talk about later. So when you're comboing someone, to get the best W tap is to hit them right when you see that, hear that sound, you let go of W and hit it again and see they just go off. I'll leave a link in the description to a better W tapping video, but just for now, I'll go on to strafing. So strafing is probably the second most important thing according to my list. Strafing, there's multiple types of strafing. One is straight lining, where you're just running straight at someone and W tapping. Another one is going AD tapping, where you're going like this, just tapping AD. One is just holding one direction like A or D. Those are the main strafings. I like to use a combination of all of them. Later on, I'll show these practices in game so you can actually understand what I mean by this. But for now, I'll just show you what I do it on a test dummy. Kind of like that. They did a bunch of knockback right there. Number 3 on my list would just be aim. Like, make sure you're hitting your hits. Obviously, if you're not hitting your opponent, they're not going to take any knockback. And if your opponent's not hitting you, you're not going to take any knockback. So that's why strafing is such a good thing, because it makes it harder for them to be able to aim. But also, you got to be able to aim and hit them so you can actually deal knockback to them, so you won't take as much knockback. And if you're constantly trading hits with someone, no one will end up taking knockback. I'll leave a link in the description to a good aim trainer website that I use sometimes. Usually the best way to train your aiming is just by playing the game and practicing a lot, but aim trainer websites can be useful sometimes. Number 4 on my list is probably CPS. A good amount of CPS would be 9 to 10. I can get about 9 to 10 just normal clicking. I would recommend learning the butterfly click. I'll put a link in the description for that too, or jittering if you really want to. But I don't think jittering is the best. It's not really good for you, and butterfly can get you a lot higher if you know what you're doing. Final one would be projectiles, but obviously that's not in Sumo. I'll go into a quick Skywars private game to show you guys what I mean with the projectiles. Now with block hitting, what you want to do is click your left mouse button, and right after you click that, click your right mouse button. It should be looking like this, kind of. Here, let me do it a bit slower. Like a motion like that. And when you're in first person, it should look like this. Basically, whenever you block it, or whenever you block, it resets your sprint, so it's kind of the same as W tapping. A lot of people like to use that as their way to reset their sprint, but I still think you should be practicing W tapping. Now, the way you can use projectiles is when you get close enough to someone, just throw the projectile and then combo them with it like that. That's kind of self-explanatory. Projectiles are not that hard to figure out, and they really help you a lot in games like Skywars, but they're not very useful in Bed Wars. I just recommend block hitting if you can, and also block hitting makes you take half the damage as you would normally, but that's not what this video is about. So yeah, let me show you guys some real in-game examples of what I mean by these. For the first game, I strafed to the right at the beginning, and he ended up missing me, so I was able to dominate at the start of the game, and he was right on the edge, so I just W tapped him right off. Game 2, I strafed with AD strafes, and I ended up getting a nice hit on him again, and I was dominating at the beginning, and I knew if I got a double tap right there, I'd kill him, so that's what I did. Game 3, kind of just the same thing as the other games. This guy was a little better than the other ones, but as long as you're generally getting more hits in than your opponent, and as long as you're hitting them every single time, you're gonna win the round. Also, make sure to not be AFK, because if you are just standing there, you're gonna take knockback. This game, I kind of just strafed a lot. We were trading hits a lot. Both of our aims were pretty good. Our CPS is about the same, but I was able to get that nice hit right there. so I cut to the left and I was able to kill him. Next game I got nice strafes on this guy. He was lagging a bit and he wasn't able to hit me. This game kind of the same thing happened as all the other games. Just W tap, make sure you're doing all that stuff. S tapping can be useful too. I think I might actually S tap a bit during this fight. I'm not sure. Yeah, I ended up killing him there. That's about it for sumo, just generally getting board hits in your opponent. That's kind of the main thing for Minecraft PvP. As long as you're doing more knockback to them than they're doing to you, you will win your fights. That one I just knocked that guy off. This guy somehow made it over there, but I was able to just combo him. This guy just W tapped off. This final guy, I used a block to try to stop his sprint, but it made him make a weird maneuver, so I was able to combo him like that. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel a lot, and it really means a lot to me. If you want to watch a Bed Wars TNT jumping video on how to do that, I'll leave one in the end screen and in the info card. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.